One fine day in Puritan Boston, Hester Prynne found herself on her way to the mansion of Governor Bellingham for the delivery of a fine pair of embroidered gloves. However, another, and far more important reason than the delivery of such gloves impelled Hester, at this time, to seek an interview with a personage of so much power and activity in the affairs of the settlement. It had reached her ears that there was a design on the part of some of the leading inhabitants to deprive her of her child.
Behold, verily, there's a woman of the Scarlet Letter, and of a truth moreover, there is the likeness of the Scarlet Letter, running along by her side. Come, therefore, and let us fling snow at them. Mother, I see you here. Look, look.
Come along, Pearl. Come and look into those fair garden. It may be that we shall find flowers more fair than in our own.
Ooh! Wow!
Hush, child, hush. Do not cry, dear little Pearl. The governor is coming, and other gentlemen along with him. Nevertheless, this badge hath taught me. It daily teaches me. It is teaching me at this moment. Lessons whereof my child may be wiser and better, albeit they can profit nothing to myself.
We will judge warily. Good Master Wilson, I pray you examine this pearl, and see whether she hath such Christian nurture as befits a child of her age.
Pearl, canst thou tell me, my child, who made thee? I was not made. Rather, I was plucked off that rose bush yonder by the prison door.
This is awful. Without question, she is equally as dark as to her soul, its present depravity and future destiny. Methinks, gentlemen, we need inquire no further. Go.
God gave me this child. He gave her in requital of all things which ye have taken from me. She is my happiness. She is my torture nonetheless. Pearl keeps me here in life and punishes me too. See ye not, she is the Scarlet Letter in the flesh. Ye shall not take her. I will die first.
Go.
Speak thou for me. Thou was my pastor and know of my soul better than these men. Speak for me. Thou knowest what is in my heart and what are a mother's rights, and when a mother has but her child and the Scarlet Letter. Thou look to it. I will not lose the child. Look to it.
There is truth in what Hester says, and in the feeling which inspires her. God gave her the child an instinctive knowledge of its nature and requirement which none shall ever have. And moreover, is there not the quality of awful sacredness in the relationship between this mother and this child? She recognizes, believe me, the solemn miracle with which God hath wrought in the existence of this child, that this boon was meant above all things else to keep the mother's soul alive and preserve it from the blacker depths of sin. Therefore it is good for the woman to have this reminder every moment of her fall, but yet to teach her, as the Creator certainly wishes that should the child be brought to heaven, she along with it. For Hester Prynne's sake, then, and no less for the poor child's sake, let us leave them as Providence hath seen fit to place them.
Very well. We'll leave the matter as it now stands.
Arthur, with every successive Sabbath, your cheek is paler and thinner. Your voice is more tremulous than before. You are in need of the skill of a physician.
I can assure you I am in no need of a physician.
Do you wish to die? I surely don't wish for that to happen. The Providence is so manifestly offering you help, and to deny it would be sin.
Very well, I'll confer with the physician. Were it God's will, I could be well content that my labors and my sorrows and my sins and my pains should travel with me, and what is earthly of them be buried in my grave, and what is spiritual be taken with me into my eternal state, rather than that you put your skill to the proof in my behalf.
Ah, it is thus that a young clergyman is apt to speak. Youthful men, not having taken a deep root, give up their hold of life so easily, and saintly men, who walk with God on earth would fain be away to walk with him on the golden pavements of New Jerusalem.
Nay, were I worthier to walk there, I could be better content to toil there.
Good men ever interpret themselves too meanly.
Arthur Dimmesdale goes to consult the physician, as he promised to the elder ministers of the church. In this manner, Roger Chillingworth became the medical adviser of Arthur Dimmesdale. Chillingworth soon started looking not only into the medical aspects of his patient, but also his character and qualities as a person. A time went on. A kind of intimacy grew between these two cultivated minds. Their contradicting views made it interesting to discuss ethics, religion, public affairs, and many other topics. After a time, at a hint from Roger Chillingworth, the friends of Mr. Dimmesdale effected an arrangement by which the two were lodged in the same house. In this way, the very attached physician could monitor every ebb and flow of the minister's life-tide. Originally, this was thought to be a very good thing among the townspeople. However, as the relationship progressed, Chillingsworth's face started to change from calm and collected to ugly and evil. Old Roger Chillingworth, throughout life, had been calm in temperament, kindly, though not of warm affections, but ever, and in all his relations with the world, a pure and upright man. He had begun an investigation, with the severe and equal integrity of a judge, desirous only of truth. He dug now into the poor clergyman's heart, like a miner searching for gold, or rather, like a sexton delving into a grave, likely to find nothing, save mortality and corruption.
Whence did you gather those herbs?
I found them growing out of a grave with no headstone. They must have grown out of his heart, a stigma of a great secret held within him when he died.
Only divine power can discern whether a man holds secrets within his heart. He must keep them locked up until the day of judgment, when all is revealed, and finally yield them forth with unparalleled joy.
Then why not reveal such secrets sooner? If one has a corpse buried deep within his soul, then why not let it free for the heavens to deal with?
Because, my doctor, when one subjects oneself to a truth of such magnitude, they are forever filthy in the foresight of their community, and can redeem no such evil.
Such men deceive themselves. They fear to take up the shame that rightfully belongs to them. Wouldst thou have me to believe, O wise and pious friend, that a false show can be better, can be more for God's glory or man's welfare than God's own truth? Trust me, such men deceive themselves.
It came to pass, not long after the scene above recorded, that the Reverend Mr. Dimmesdale, noonday, and entirely unawares, fell into a deep, deep slumber, sitting in his chair, with a large black-letter volume open before him on the table. He had striven to put a cheat upon himself by making the avowal of a guilty conscience, but had gained only one other sin, and a self-acknowledged shame, without the momentary relief of being self-deceived. He had spoken the truth, and transformed it into the veriest falsehood, and yet, by the constitution of his nature, he loved the truth, and loathed the lie, as few men ever did. Therefore, above all things else, he loathed his miserable self.
My soul writhes in agony. I know not what to do. I feel the physician's cold eyes upon me. They do chill me, as would a winter's frost. This guilt, it is more than I can bear. How can the same man who is trodden by such sin be the one who preaches it to those who bear it? I, whom you behold in this black garment of the priesthood, I who is sent the sacred desk, and turn my pale face heavenward, I, who have breathed the parting prayer over your dying friends, to whom the Amen sounded faintly from a world which they had quitted. I, your pastor, whom you so reverence and trust, am utterly a pollution and a lie. Pearl? Hester? Hester Prynne, are you there?
Yes, it is I and my little Pearl.
What sent you out at this time tonight?
Pearl and I have come from Governor Winthrop's deathbed.
Come hither, and we shall stand on the scaffold as free.
They silently ascended, and stood on the platform. The moment that they did so, there came what seemed a tumultuous rush of new life, other life than his own, pouring like a torrent into his heart, and hurrying through all his veins, as if the mother and child were communicating their vital warmth to his half-torpid system. The three formed an electric chain.
Minister, will thou stand hither with mother and me tomorrow?
No, my little Pearl, I will stand with thou one day, but not tomorrow. The daylight of this world will not know about this meeting.
At that moment, a meteor swept across the sky, leaving faint red lines in the shape of an A.
Hester, who is that man? Dost thou know him?
Minister, I can tell thee who that man is.
Dost thou mock me?
Thou would not promise to stand with me hither tomorrow.
Thou must go home, minister, else thou wouldst not be able to perform the Sabbath tomorrow.
The next day, however, being the Sabbath, he preached a discourse which was held to be the richest and most powerful and the most replete with heavenly influences that had ever proceeded from his lips.